Okay, so I'll just give a quick recap of what is a patent. Anybody from you can explain what is a patent? Maybe anyone, Sylvia or anyone else? Fine. Let's leave. I'll start. Okay, so for example, you are a researcher or you are an engineer, for example, and you create a sort of a new device which solves a problem, which solves a problem. So, for example, let's take a very simple example. Uh, you are a researcher in a pharmaceutical company, and you are doing research on sort of a drug or on sort of a product which can increase the volume of hair, okay, which can increase the growth of hair or which can increase the volume of hair. Now you come up with a composition, or you come up with a, for example, a new sort of product or new sort of composition, new sort of drug which increases the volume and the growth of hair. I want everybody to be on mute, please. Lalit, please be on. Yeah. So now, because you have invented it, right? You have invented the product. So ideally, what would you want? Only you will be able to sell the product in the market, so you can have an advantage in the market. That's where the patent comes into the picture. That's where the patent comes into. So when you want to protect your invention in such a way that only you can use it, others cannot use it without your permission, others cannot make it, others cannot use it, then you should apply for a patent. You should apply for a patent. And once you get a patent, nobody else in India can be able to make it, can be able to import it, use it without your permission. Now, what is the advantage? So let's say everybody knows about electronic scooters in the market. Ola Electric, Ather, TVS, all these are. Am I audible, everyone? Yes or no? Anybody? Okay. So Ritika, I think this Ritika, you need to log in again. You need to log out and log in again. Okay, fine. So now, for example, I am the founder of Uttara, and I have come up with a new technology in the battery of my scooter, which increases the battery life up to, let's say, 2 days. So now people don't have to recharge their electronic scooter batteries on a daily basis. But how to protect my invention so that my other competitors cannot use it? So to protect it, what I'll do is I will go and file a patent in the Indian Patent Office. And if I receive the patent, my invention is protected. Nobody in India, any competitor, any person, any company in India cannot make, cannot use the same technology without my permission. Is this clear, everyone? You have to say yes or no. Fine. Okay. Now, based on the discussion that we have had, let's quickly discuss the main advantages that a patent provides you. Patent gives you the right to stop others from making, using, selling, offering for sale, and importing the invention. So it means if I have the patent, I can stop others from making, using, selling, and importing the invention. And because I am the owner of the patent, I have the patent, so the owner of the patent can sell, license, mortgage, assign, or transfer the rights to another third party. So it means, for example, I am the founder of Uday Electric. I have the patent of the battery technology. So I have the right that I can give somebody permission to use my invention. So, for example, I give permission to, let's say, TVS Motor. So then, based on my permission that I have given to them, TVS Motor can use the same battery technology in their product, and they can have the advantage of my invention. But it is only possible when I give them the permission because as a patent owner, I have the right to stop others, and also I have the right to give permission to others. Is this clear, everybody? You have to say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Great, thank you. Now the question is, okay, you have the invention. You have the invention, but how to file a patent in India? How to file a patent in the Patent Office of India? Now, there are different ways to do this. There are different ways to do this. We are going to discuss two most important ways, which are roughly around 99% of the patent applications that are filed in India. So, for example, you pass out your college, you pass your maybe bachelor's or master's, whatever you are doing. Then, after passing your college, you get a degree. You get a degree. But initially, after passing your college, you get a provisional degree. Yes, everybody gets a provisional degree initially, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What is the use of a provisional degree? If you remember, or whenever you get a provisional degree is valid only till the time you do not get a complete, full and final degree. So provisional degree is nothing but a temporary degree given to you so that you can use it as per your need. Similarly in Indian patent system, for example, you are a researcher and you have come up with an invention. Now you want to protect it and you don't have time. You want to protect it right today. Okay. So now you don't have much time. So what the patent office gives you the flexibility is you can go to the patent office. When I say you can go to the, I mean you can submit on the website of the Indian Patent Office a temporary application, and that temporary application is known as provisional application, similar to the concept of provisional degree. Provisional application is a temporary application which can have details of your invention. So if I talk about battery invention, so I can write anything that is related to my invention, maybe the way in which the invention is working, the advantages of the invention, and all the other aspects that I know about my invention. And I can just simply write it in either English or Hindi, and I can submit to the patent office. This document which I am submitting to the patent office has details of the invention, but not in a proper format. It can be in rough format, right? So that's why it is known as provisional application. That is why it is known as provisional application. But Indian Patent Office gives you the flexibility of filing the provisional patent office, but they will not check it. They will not take any action on it. You can file the provisional application. You will get the protection. You will get the protection, but the patent office will not take any step on it. The reason is similar to your degree. Once the final degree is given to you, once the final degree is given to you, temporary degree is negligible, or a temporary degree does not have any value. Similarly, if you file a provisional patent application in India within 1 year, I am again repeating, within 1 year, within 12 months, you need to submit a more refined, a more complete application in the Patent Office of India that will have much more bigger details. We are going to discuss details in our later classes, but for now, the temporary application, the provisional application was a temporary application, was a rough application, but within 1 year, within 12 months, you have to file a complete application similar to the complete degree. And once you file the complete application, provisional application will not have any value. Is this clear, everyone? Is this clear? Ritika, am I audible now? Lalit, Nancy, Tamanna, you have to say yes or no. You can type in the chat box. Fine. I'll assume that it is quite understood and it is quite clear. So now we are going to see just couple of more points about it so that you can read it and it will be more clear to you. Okay. I hope my screen is visible and I want everybody to read this. Provisional application. A provisional application is an application which can be filed if the inventor is still under experimentation stage. I'll tell you what does this mean. The important point is the inventor gets 12 months time to fully develop the invention and to file the complete specification. So now what does this mean? Let's say you are in your masters and or you are in your masters or you are doing PhD and your thesis has just started. Okay, your thesis or your project is for let's say around 6 months and it is just started. So now in the first month you come up with an invention. You come up with an invention and your guide says, your professor says, okay, let's file a patent. Let's file a patent. Now, because your research is not completed yet, your research is still ongoing, and there might be some sort of improvements or some sort of new things that you may come up with in near future. So, what you can do is to protect the invention, whatever you have done so far, you submit a provisional application. You submit a provisional application. Why? Because provisional application is simple. It can be a simple write-up in plain English or Hindi. The cost of filing a provisional application is very small or very low compared to a complete application. So you will tell your professor, okay sir, because I have just started my research and there will be a lot of things that I am going to do in the future, so let's file a provisional application. He will say yes. So you will file a provisional application. Now during the next 6 months or during the next 8 months you come up with more details. Your analysis sort of research evolves. So now once you are certain, once you are confident that yes, my invention is now please be on mute everything. Yeah. So now after 8 months, for example, you think now my invention is complete. Whatever research I wanted to do, I have completed that and all the details are there. So what you will do is, because you filed a provisional application earlier, within 12 months, you will file a complete application. You will file a complete application, and in the complete application, you will have details of your provisional application. You will have details of your earlier application, provisional application. When I say details, it means the information that you have included in the provisional application. The same information will be included in the complete application, but it will have more details, right? You submit it in the patent office. You submit it in the patent office, and the patent office then receive the complete application, and they will say, okay, now we have received your patent application. So that's why in India there are two types of main applications. One is provisional, which is temporary, and if you file a temporary or provisional application within 12 months, within 1 year, you have to file a complete application. And a complete application has a lot more details, has a complete specified structure in comparison to the provisional application. Any doubts so far? Any?
So,
Or if it is clear, you can type in the chat yes. Guys, either you have to say no or you have to type in the chat yes. You have to do one thing. Okay. So I am assuming that okay, it is clear. Fine. Thank you. Now, one more important thing. Let's say, uh, for example, you are working in Serum Institute of India. Serum Institute of India. You know Serum Institute, the company who makes most of the vaccines in India, including Covishield, right? Let's say you are one of the researcher out there in that particular company. Now you come up with one invention or you come up with one solution to solve or to treat coronavirus. And while doing research, you come up with some other way of resolving or of treating coronavirus. Now, as an inventor, you are the inventor. you have found two ways, one way of treating coronavirus and the other way of treating. I want everybody to be on mute, please. Okay, thank you. Now, because you have found two different ways of solving a problem of solving coronavirus, and both of the ways, the first way and the second way, are are very unique. So what you do is, for example, you file a patent application, you file a complete patent application in which both the ways you have written. So I write both the ways, that this is the first way of solving the problem, this is the second way of solving the problem, and I file the patent application. Now, once you do this, the Patent Office of India, the Patent Office of India will reject your application, will reject your patent application. And the reason is they will say that one patent application, very important everyone, please listen carefully. One patent application will have only one invention. One patent application will have only one invention. So the concept of one patent, one invention should be there. And now because I have included two inventions in the same application, therefore my patent application might be rejected. So to solve this problem, the patent office will say, or the patent office will rather suggest me that, Prashant, look, you have included two inventions in the same application, and because one application should have only one invention, so what you can do is divide your patent application into divide your patent application into two different applications. So one application that I submitted, I will divide it into two applications, and each application will have individual invention. So for example, my parent application had A plus B invention. So I will divide it into two. One application will have A invention, one application will have B invention. And now since I am dividing my application into two applications, these are known as divisional application. These are known as divisional application. Okay. I I want you to read from here to here. Just read from here to here, this paragraph. Is this clear, everybody? So if somebody asks you what is a provisional application, I think you should be able to tell. What is complete application or ordinary application, you should be able to tell. And what is divisional application, you should be able to. Do you have any doubt, anyone in this? Okay, so I am assuming that it is all. Now, now you are the same inventor who has filed uh, a, a patent application related to coronavirus. Now, after 3-4 years, for example, you filed the patent application, the patent office has granted your patent application. Now you have the patent. Now, because you are continuously researching on this, after 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, 2 years, right? You find you find some improvement in your invention. You find some improvement in your invention. So, for example, if the efficiency was initially of the drug was, let's say, 20%, you have found a way so that the efficiency has increased from 20% to 30%. For example, now you want to protect the new feature that you have introduced, and it is related to the same invention. So what you can do is, there are two ways to, again, one, you file a new application, you write everything about it in the same way, file it, and you will get it. So you are doing nothing, you are filing a new patent. The second way is you will tell the patent office, hey, look, I already have this patent, I already have this earlier patent, and the invention that I have done is an extension or is an improvement of my earlier invention. So basically, you are implicitly saying, or you are implicitly telling the patent office that I am adding something to my earlier invention. I am adding something. I am including something new into my earlier application. Once you say this, the advantage is the cost becomes very less. The cost becomes very less. That's why companies, inventors, everyone who sort of invents something which is related to the earlier invention and is not very major invention but just an improvement, for those cases they do not file a new patent application but rather indicates that I am filing for an addition of I am filing for an improvement of the earlier application. And such an application, when you file in the patent office, such an application, when you file in the patent office, is known as patent of addition. Is known as patent of addition. And I want everybody to read this particular paragraph. I want from here, just give me a second. Yes, from here to here, just read this. So basically, it is saying that when you have made an invention which is a slight modification of the earlier invention, slight improvement, addition, modification, right? For which he has already applied or obtained a patent. So for the earlier invention, either I have already have got the patent or applied for the patent, then I can go for a patent of addition. The advantage is I don't have to pay a separate renewal. Now, what is the renewal? What is the renewal? Okay, so I think couple of you have already attended one of the basic class. Whenever you get a patent, whenever you get a patent, what is the life of a patent? What is the duration for which I get a patent?
20 years.
20 years, right? So the point is I get the protection for only 20 years. After 20 years, anybody can make it, anybody can use it. They don't need my permission. But for 20 years, they need to take my permission. Now, so for example, I applied for the patent last year and I have received the patent today. Now my patent will be valid for 20 years. But since the patent office is maintaining my patent for the next 20 years, they will not do it for free. They will not do it for free, obviously, because they they have offices, they have patent examiners, right? I think a couple of few people have already applied for it, and so a lot of expenses are there. So to maintain my patent for 20 years, they will charge some money from, they will charge some maintenance fee from me. Till 20 years, every year, I will have to pay some money to them so that once they receive the money from me, they will maintain my patent. So first point, if you do not pay the renewal fee, if you do not pay the maintenance fee, your patent will be lapsed. Your patent will be invalid. Why? Because you are not paying for the maintenance, so why will they keep maintaining? Now, second point. For the first 2 years, out of 20 years, for the first 2 years, you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay. But from the third year till the 20th year, you have to pay every year some sort of fee. What is the fee? We will discuss in the later classes. But please remember,
Ah,
everybody, please be on mute. So, patent you need to file either provisional or complete. If you have two inventions in the same application, you file divisional. if you have an invention which is a slight modification or an improvement, you file a patent of addition. Then once you get a patent, you have to pay renewal fee till 20 years. From the third year to the 20th year, if you do not pay any this renewal fee in any of the year, your patent will be lapsed. Your patent will become invalid. Your patent will not be functional. And the power of a patent, you can license, you can give permission, and you can stop others from using your invention without your permission. Is this all clear? Any doubts so far? You can type, if it is clear, just type yes in the chat. Anyone? Fine. Great. Now, okay. Now, each patent that you file in India, you will get protection only in India because IPR or patent are territorial in nature. So the territory is India. If I file a patent and I get the patent, I will get the protection in complete India, not outside. Now, but if I want to have the protection outside India, my business is in US, my business is in UK also, and I want to protect my invention in those countries. How to do it? One way is I separately file a patent application in US. I go and separately file a patent application in UK. But big companies like IBM, Microsoft, Apple, right? They want to file in 50 countries. So is it a good way to file separately in those 50 countries? No. For that, there is a system that has been developed which is known as Patent Cooperation Treaty, PCT, Patent Cooperation Treaty. So multiple countries have joined together to form a treaty related to the patents, and the member countries of that treaty have the advantage that from means I can sit here in India and I can simply file patents in all the other countries that who are the part of that treaty, patent cooperation. Now, how to file, what to file, I'll just introduce it today, and some of the details that are required and that is necessary for you, we are going to cover in our future classes. So patent cooperation treaty assists applicants in seeking patent protection internationally for their inventions, and it helps patent offices with their patent granting decision and facilitate public access to a wealth of technical information. So for you, this point is important. Now let's say I want to have protection in multiple countries and I am a resident of India. So what I can do is in the Patent Office of India, I can file a PCT application. I can file a PCT application. And an application filed in India as the receiving office. So India's patent office is a receiving office, means it has the capability of receiving international applications. It will act as a receiving office under the Patent Cooperation Treaty, and once they receive the application from me, what they will do is, I will tell them, okay, file my patent application in US, Europe, Japan, Germany, Italy, for example. So they will receive my patent application. They are the receiving office, and then internally they will send my patent application internally to the countries which I have selected. So for example, I have selected US, UK, Germany, Italy. So they will send a copy of my patent application in those four countries. And then the patent offices of those four countries will independently check my patent application as per their legal complications, and either they will give me the patent or they will reject my patent. And please remember, if I have got the patent in India, means Indian Patent Office has given me the patent. It doesn't mean and it is not necessary that US Patent Office, Italy Patent Office, Germany Patent Office may give me the patent. No. Reason is they have their legal system, they have their different rules and regulations. So they will check my patent application according to their rules. And their rules are different from India's rules. So there are chances that they might approve my patent application or they might reject my patent application. So each patent office will independently check my patent application and will either approve or reject it. Is this clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Great.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So if you need to have the protection only in India, you don't have to file PCT. You can just simply file either provisional or non-provisional. If you file provisional in 12 months, you have to file non-provisional or ordinary application. But if you need international, you have to file PCT in India, which will act as receiving office, and you have to tell them, okay, I want to file in these countries. You select the countries, they will pass on your application to those respective countries. Fine. So now today we have covered types of application: provisional, non-provisional, patent of addition, divisional. We have covered basics of PCT, and I have told you, I have introduced you to the maintenance fee or the renewal fee. The next class we are going to see what fee, how much fee, if we do not pay it, what are the repercussions or what are the conditions for it. We are going to cover it all in our next class. If you have any doubt, please ask. Otherwise, we will drop off and we'll meet in the next class.